Are you looking for yet another way to go RIA? Well, I tell you what, we have you covered this week with some really interesting news coming out of Schwab. So I had the chance to sit down with Shawnette Gauer, who is the Managing Director of Enterprise Solutions over at Schwab Advisor Services. And we talked about their new offering, which is called the Schwab Advisor Pro Direct. Essentially, it's like an incubator program, which I thought was really, really fascinating. And what they've done is they've put together the solution where advisors, it's generally targeted for the sub 300 million market that want to go RIA, but they want some guidance. Now, there's a lot of ways to get guidance. For example, you can come to goRIA.com. And by the way, if you do that this week, you will see her podcast with me right up on top of that list. It's really worth a listen. But what I'd like to do here today, as I normally do on these Wednesday afternoons, is give you a little taste of that. And I'm going to do so in just a moment. But essentially what this program is, you reach out to their department over there at Schwab Advisor Services, and they will actually hold your hand in a lot of ways and put you together with some various different vendors, help you kind of drink from that fire hose, as I talk about on this podcast, with the various tech providers, compliance providers, and really everything you need to know about going RIA. So, as I say all the time about going RIA, going independent does not mean you have to go alone. There's a ton of great partners you can tuck in with, you can help build with, and this one here is really the latter. So here's a quick preview of what Shawnette and I talked about. How can they? And a lot of times when we talk about the how can they go RIA, we talk about sort of individual solutions, right? The tech solutions, the SMA solutions, the compliance solutions, the marketing solutions, which is good. But it sounds like what you guys have done is kind of put all of those solutions under one roof and given these breakaway advisors the opportunity to have some guidance on choosing and implementing those solutions. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, so what we do as part of Schwab Advisor Pro Direct, as you know, we talk about the industry and the choice that is available. I mean, when I started my RIA longer ago than I'd like to admit, 30 plus years ago, the ecosystem for the RIA industry was very, very small. I mean, there was maybe two, maybe three portfolio management providers. To find compliance support, you were doing it yourself or maybe hiring an attorney. It was very limited. So with Schwab Advisor Pro Direct, we are working to simplify this complex system, narrow it down to really helping firms understand what do they need. And so we think of it really in four phases: launch, learn, connect, and grow. So under this launch phase, I think is really where you're hitting on what do I need to think about as I'm going to launch my own RIA, and what do I need? So under the program, we have contracted with a number of third-party providers, and we've negotiated exclusive discounts. So all the things that you need to start your business, from HR, marketing, compliance support, tech providers, all of that. And we will narrow down that industry ecosystem to say, here's a couple that we think are going to meet the needs that you are looking for. And then the advisor can certainly contract directly with those firms under those exclusive discounts that have been negotiated.
All right, that sounds good. So it kind of helps, because it is a bit like drinking water from a fire hose, right? When you're going RIA, my God, there's so many different tech solutions. There's so many different compliance folks. So you guys have essentially put together maybe a short list for each one of those categories.
Yes.
And do you provide assistance and guidance to that breakaway advisor on, because I really do believe there is no such thing as the best tech solution or the best compliance solution. There is the best fit for me, though. There's the best tech solution for that RIA, which is going to be very different perhaps than the best tech solution for the other RIA.
Yes.
Do you help those guys out with the compare and contrast part of this?
I love this question, and I think you're absolutely spot on. There are many providers, and there is not a one-size-fits-all. So one of the things we do, and we do really well as firms are transitioning to independence, is we do provide transition consulting. We provide a team of individuals as part of the program that really...
Okay. So as you can see, that's just a little taste of what we covered, but we really do a fairly deep dive into what this new Schwab offering has. And what I love about it, it's just another way, another resource to help folks kind of break away from the broker-dealer world and move into this RIA space. So again, if you want to build your own, tuck in, there's so many different flavors and different options for going RIA. And if you've been listening to this podcast for a while and you haven't made any moves yet, what are you waiting for? You know, as I like to say, come on in. The water is great. I broke away myself 6 years ago. And I promise you, if you talk to, 10 advisors that went RIA, all 10 will tell you the one regret that they have is not having done it sooner. And especially now, the number of resources that are coming down the pipeline between what Shawnette is offering over at Schwab, what various different firms are offering with regards to tuck-in solutions or help you build your own solutions, there's no better time to really consider it. Again, my only regret, like those others that I mentioned, is not having done it sooner. So that's it for this week. But do check it out. It's right at the top of the list at goRIA.com. And I will be back next week, Wednesday at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, as per usual, with some more content. Thanks for joining us. Take care.